Hello, my loves. Mindfulness Mondays. I'm coming a bit late, but we're here. Um, if I get interrupted, I may have to stop this. I'm in a communal area right now. My apartment's way too dark to video. But today, last week we focused on, do you remember? Beginner's mind. This week we're going to focus on gratitude. And these are very top line glimpses into the mindfulness attributes that we're doing each week. But it's good to have a basis and a foundation for it. So today we're going to talk about gratitude and what gratitude really is and how it can benefit us in our lives and simple tools we can implement to grow that gratitude in our lives. Because there is so much that we tend to take for granted. We take for granted we're alive, the gift of life. We take for granted that we have food, most of us, right? We have access to food, clean water, healthcare, so much to be grateful for, but we tend to focus on what we don't have. And then if we're focusing too much on what we don't have and wanting to bring more in of other things, we can kind of almost block ourselves because we don't see the opportunities. So I wanted to talk to you about why the practice of gratitude will help you in life, and then how we can learn it and develop it. So it is something we can learn and develop and train ourselves to practice. So the benefits, there's so many, it's crazy. And a lot of this is now being scientifically researched as well and backed. And I can pop some of the information underneath in the links too. It's shown to improve physical health, so actually taking away inflammation from your cells, improves sleep, improves overall psychological health, increases empathy, reduces aggression, creates more social connection, enhances self-esteem, and improves mental strength. So where you see me glancing to, it's actually a lot of this information is on a website called Positive Psychology. But again, I'll pop some links in underneath. It's a great resource. So there's many reasons why we'll benefit from practicing gratitude. One thing I read earlier on, where was it? Over here, I'm going to get it for you. The way that it strengthens relationships because it fosters feelings of connection and appreciation between individuals. And that's really interesting because there's a connection there with the blue zones, right? And after we go through the mindfulness principles, we'll move on to the blue zones and you'll start to see the correlation, which I find quite fascinating. I'm just checking that we've covered everything. Well, overall stress. If you've got all that going on, you're going to reduce your overall levels of stress as well, which then has an impact on your cortisol. So then it flips back to your physical health, doesn't it? You see, it's just one big circle. And how do we practice gratitude? Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes we're in a place where it's hard to feel gratitude because we're so overwhelmed and we've got so much on our plate, so much going on. We almost feel resentful rather than grateful. But it can be something really simple, like going to bed at night, having a comfortable pillow. That's all you can muster up. It's great. It's a starting point. So you don't have to suddenly, step from that space of stress overwhelming to, I'm grateful for everything. That's completely unrealistic. But if we can hold on to little things like our cup of tea or coffee in the morning and our pillow at night, this all helps us slowly rewire our brains into a space of more gratitude. One of the exercises we used to do as a family at night is sitting around at the dinner table and asking each other one thing we were grateful for from the day. And it really helps with that connection, fosters that connection as well. If you're listening to the other person and understanding what brings them joy and what they're grateful for, great practice. And it's a simple one that you can do with your family every day. I'm going to leave the obvious one to the end, but another one is, and it brings in the overall concept of mindful eating, is just when you're slowing down and you're having your dinner, your lunch, your breakfast, taking a nice deep breath, slowing your process down, feeling your food, smelling your food, thanking it. thanking it for the nourishment that it's providing for your body, and thanking it for any joy it might be bringing your body as well and your emotional state. So connecting with your food, because it's something we do every day. You don't want to make these habits hard or difficult. You want to be able to incorporate them into things we're already doing every day. So food's a great way to start. And then one of the last ones I'll share with you today, there are many more ways, but like I said, I wanted to keep these videos relatively short, is a journal. And many of us have heard about the journaling practice for gratitude. A lot of people might really struggle with the concept of writing down a list every day of things that they're grateful for, or you just simply forget. That's okay. Even if it's once, twice, 3 times a week, and it's 2 or 3 things, start somewhere. It doesn't have to be these grand things. And like I said, it can be as simple as your coffee, the pillow, the flower blooming outside, the food on your plate. But this is how we can grow the practice. And like I said, there's so many wonderful benefits from stepping into a place of gratitude. So take that with you this week. Focus on gratitude. If you've got any comments or feedback on last week on Beginner's Mind, where you haven't seen it yet, go back and have a watch of that one. And I'll pop any links underneath there as well that I think might be helpful for you. And I look forward to seeing you next week. And please reach out, share your thoughts, comment, share it with anyone that you think might benefit from it as well. All right. Much love, everyone. Bye.